Hey, everybody, this is Adam. We begin with the core concept of this room, offensive security. Let's jump right into it. Task 1. What is offensive security? Well, this part keeps it quite short, so I would add a few thoughts that will be useful for you going forward. It may sound boring, but please pay attention, or I will be mad. Just kidding. So offensive security is basically the practice of thinking and acting like an attacker in order to identify weaknesses in systems. Instead of waiting for a real hacker to find a flaw, professionals simulate attacks themselves. The objective is not damage, it is discovery. By understanding how vulnerabilities are exploited, organizations can fix them before someone with malicious intent does. It would be quite ironic if we caused damage when we were hired specifically to prevent it, wouldn't it? What does offensive security focuses on? Well, on many things, but most importantly, identifying weaknesses in software and systems, exploiting those weaknesses in a controlled way, learning how attackers operate, and last but not least, strengthening defenses based on those findings. This room introduces that mindset in a safe and legal environment. So, you are not attacking a real organization. You are just practicing inside a controlled lab designed specifically for learning. The goal is to understand how an ethical hacker approaches a target. So, you are asked to identify which option describes the process of simulating hacker actions to uncover vulnerabilities. To answer correctly, focus on the concept we just defined, acting like an attacker in order to improve security. Feel free to pause the video there to answer. So it is, of course, offensive security. You can also click the small light bulb to get hints related to the question. So let's jump into task 2, hacking your first machine. In this task, we move from theory to basically into practice. This is one thing why Try Hack Me is really cool, because you get to implement the things you learn in almost in all in their rooms. For beginners, I always suggest try Hack Me. So as we were talking about it, Try Hack Me uses virtual machines to create controlled lab environments. These machines simulate real systems, allowing you to test techniques without risk. Instead of attacking a live website on the internet, you interact with a safe replica designed specifically for learning. So, I already started this machine, so we will just go up there and click Show Split View, and voila, it is there. Once everything is set up, the lesson content remains on one side, and the virtual machine appears on the other. Inside that environment, you'll see a browser already open to a banking website. This is the application you will be working against. Your first hack. The objective now is to discover hidden pages on this website. Web applications often contain administrative panels or internal tools that are not directly linked from the homepage. So if these pages are improperly protected, an attacker may be able to find and access them. This process of discovering hidden directories or pages is known as enumeration. To perform this enumeration, we use a command line tool called GoBuster. Well, what is GoBuster? GoBuster works by taking a list of possible page names and automatically checking whether those pages exist on the target website. Instead of guessing manually, it systematically tests each option from a word list. All right, so let's get into it. Firstly, let's talk a little bit about the terminal. The terminal allows direct interaction with the system through typed commands. Unlike a graphical interface, it provides precise control over tools and processes. You also look more cool if you do stuffs in the terminal than in the graphical interface. Imagine if you are a girl at a party. You see two guys, one using graphical interface and the other one is using a terminal on their laptop. To which one would you go to speak? Obviously, terminal using guy, right? So back to the room, open the terminal inside the virtual machine before proceeding. I already roughly defined GoBuster for you, but anytime you want more detail about something you are using, you can just use the man command and the name of which you are interested in. In our case, it would be MangaBuster. And as you can see, there are plenty of information about it. So we will execute this command, which you can see there, that instructs GoBuster to target the bank website, use a predefined word list, and to search for directories. The command includes parameters that define its behavior. One parameter specifies the target website. Another parameter provides the word list containing possible directory names. The final part indicates that the tool should operate in directory discovery mode. When executed, GoBuster begins testing each entry from the word list against the website, so let's do that. I will just copy this command there. As the tool runs, it displays discovered paths along with status codes. A key detail to focus on is the status code returned for each path. When a page returns a successful response code, which is 200 as you can see, it indicates that the page exists and is accessible. In the output, one of the discovered endpoints is particularly important, a page related to transferring funds. This page was not linked from the home page but is reachable directly. That discovery is the result of enumeration. Using the browser in the virtual machine, manually navigate to the discovered transfer page. So let's just write in the page. We got, if accessible, this page allows money to be transferred between accounts. Obviously, this is a simplified lab, but you get the idea. From a security perspective, this demonstrates a critical issue, which is sensitive functionality exposed without proper access controls. So let's check what is our task with this page we've just discovered. Okay, so it seems like that our mission is to transfer this much from this account to that account. So let's just do this. And this is our so-called flag to answer to our task questions. Congrats. Let's check what is in task 3 for us. So basically, this task talks about the bigger picture, career pathways. Many people ask how to get started in cybersecurity. So the answer is structured learning combined with consistent hands-on practice. Instead of trying to master everything at once, the approach is incremental. Choose an area of interest. To add to this point from my own experience, don't be afraid that once you choose something, it will be hard to drift away from it later. It doesn't work like that. You're not stuck just because you picked an area you liked. If it turns out you don't like it after all, or you get bored of it, you can still move on. Most things are connected to each other anyway. Build foundational knowledge, practice regularly in controlled labs, and reinforce skills through repetition. Hands-on environments like the one you just used are essential. Reading theory builds understanding, but applying that knowledge builds capability. Career examples. This section highlights real-world transitions into cybersecurity. Individuals from unrelated professions have successfully moved into the industry by developing technical skills, practicing consistently, building structured knowledge over time. The key takeaway is that entry into cybersecurity does not require a traditional background. Progress is driven by skill acquisition and practical experience. Here, I'd again use myself as an example. I didn't get into cybersecurity with a university or college degree, but through self-development without a teacher. It's absolutely doable on your own if you're determined enough, and if you watch all my videos and complete the rooms along with me. Just joking, but it would actually help you. And lastly, this task talks about some roles in the area. Penetration tester evaluates systems by attempting to identify and exploit vulnerabilities in a controlled setting. Red teamer simulates adversarial behavior to test an organization's overall defensive posture. Security engineer designs and maintains security controls to prevent and detect attacks. Each role involves different responsibilities, but all require understanding how attacks work and how systems can fail. And for our last trick, let's click on this check to finish our room. And with that, we've officially maxed out the offensive security intro room. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it and would like to see more similar walkthrough videos. Have a breach-free day. And if you have any questions, I'll answer them in the comments.